All right, here we go. EODL, that wasn't English. EUDL week 1. That was a little weird because I actually played my week 2 battle yesterday. So I'm filming this after the week 2 battle. So there might be some continuity errors with some of the commentary, but I digress. Until you know, this is quite the production here. Basically, as we finished a draft like midway through the week, so we had a week and a half to play 2 games instead of trying to get a whole week done in like 3 days. And so just my week 2 opponent got to me first. But we got week 1 coming in here. Now, let's go through the opponent's team. We got Murkrow. This guy's profile picture is Murkrow, so I think it's safe to assume that he likes it. Also, first pick. So it's not like it's a particularly scary mon. It does have good speed, and it gets Prankster and a lot of utility, right? It gets stuff like Defog. I think it gets Nasty Plot. Yeah, so it gets like Prankster, Nasty Plot, and it has an 85 attack stat. So like it can do some weird and funky stuff. It can be a little bit scary, but for the most part, it's kind of just speed control and utility. But it also does get like Super Luck, so you can do like Super Luck Scope Lens sets, I'm sure. But you're probably going to see this EVLA util most of the time. Then we got Berserker. This thing cheats. Now, the only thing that really holds this thing back is that 50 speed stat, but 110 attack and 110 defense. Not stats to laugh at in low tier. Nothing to laugh at all. Also, the abilities of Tough Claws, Steely Spirit. Basically gives him adaptability steel moves if you don't know what that does, and then Tough Claws boosts all his contact moves, so like Iron Head, CC, all that kind of stuff is going to be getting boosted. So this thing hits like deceptively hard because you don't factor in that like all of its moves get boosted, and then also battle armor is a phenomenal ability. You're not going to see it very much because this thing's super offensive and you're not really playing around the crit very much. The only thing that holds this thing back is its speed. Its coverage is also ridiculous. Like Gunk, Play Rough, Seed Bomb, Shadow Claw. Like this thing, it has ridiculous coverage. So that thing is pretty damn scary. Then we have Whiscash. This thing is also pretty scary. 110 HP is pretty good, and then 78 attack is nothing to laugh at. Like it's pretty solid for a low tier draft. And then you remember this thing gets Dragon Dance for some reason, because Whiscash is definitely a dragon. So this thing gets DD, and then you get +1, and you look at my team and my speed stats, and you're like, oh. So, yeah, I'm pretty scared of DD Whiscash, especially because Water Ground. My team has like 1 water resist. Yeah, a singular water resist. I thought about going Air Balloon, but like we'll get to that. Then we have Kadabra. I honestly was surprised that the thing was in the format. Maybe I'm giving it too much credit because I've used it in a lot of playthroughs. But 105 speed, 120 attack, which is like really good stats. It is paper thin, but this thing still gets like Calm Mind. I think it still gets dual screens. Like it gets everything Alakazam gets, to my knowledge. It's just slightly slower and slightly hits slightly less hard. But it's basically like the Alakazam that got B's instead of A's. You know, like it's basically Alakazam, and you can run Eviolite on it if you wanted to. Then there's Wigglytuff. This thing is also pretty scary. Its coverage is ridiculous. It gets competitive, and 140 HP means you're going to live a lot of hits. And again, 85 attack, nothing to scoff at all. And this thing gets Nasty Plot, gets Calm Mind, gets all kinds of setup. And then its coverage, Gen 1 learn sets, it's a little ridiculous. Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, for some reason it needs all that. But yeah, that thing is annoying. And then there's Blossom. Blossom, like pretty solid bulk, 95, 90, 100, like not bad at all. This thing also gets Quiver Dance. There's a lot of stuff in this league that's banned from using Quiver Dance. This Blossom is not one of them. Thankfully, I have Dancer or Ikorio, so like hopefully there's some deterrent to bringing Quiver Dance. I guess that also works for Dragon Dance too, hey? Yeah, so like Quiver Oricorio. Dancer Oricorio is like surprisingly good. Also like for Swords Dance. Yeah, that doesn't help. You know, the attack buffs in Oricorio aren't as impactful as you might think, right? Because 70 attack is like not terrible, but you know, anything that gives you a speed boost and you have Oricorio in the back, it's pretty solid and it's a very good deterrent. Where are we? We're on Pig Knight. This is one of his Terra captains. This thing is pretty scary. Again, not very fast. I think both of our teams are not very fast at all, and we both have webs, so we might be playing a very similar game here. But Pig Knight, it's got some solid bulk, especially when you factor in EUDL. It hits pretty damn hard, and with Terra, it gets access to like everything, and it can still keep thick fat. Right, so you can like go Terra, whatever, ice, and then you still resist fire, or Terra grass and you resist fire and ice, right? So thick fat is still a nice ability when you're terroring, and it still hits pretty damn hard. Then you got Banette, does all the normal ghost type stuff, spin block, normal immunity, gets curse shenanigans if you want to do that. But then it also has a pretty ridiculous stack stat of 115, and I think it gets access to elemental punches if memory serves. No, it doesn't, but it gets gunk, it gets skitter smack, but no, I think it gets. Isn't that? I saw it. Oh yeah, it gets Thunderbolt and Icy Wind. But oh well, I knew it got Thunderbolt. That's probably where the confusion came from. Yeah, special attacks on this thing isn't too bad either. But again, it's pretty slow and it's pretty frail as well. So yeah. Then there's Glimmet. This thing is basically just mini Glamora, except it's slow as molasses. I think Glamora's like 90, this thing's like 60, but still really high special attack stat. Its def isn't exactly as high as Glamora's, but hazard stack, removal, high special attack if you want to go like choice scarf sets, which I highly doubt this thing will be. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see EUDL, hazard stack, that's probably it. And then, there's Immortal Spin, which can't be spin blocked unless you have a ghost type like Togi D, which I do. And then last is Dupiter. It can be a pinch water emergency, but I don't really have any scary water types. I have Polytoad and Marshtomp, and neither of these things are particularly scary. Yeah, neither of things are particularly scary or threatening, so I don't anticipate like pinch water absorb, but it might be there. It's pretty much just webs. Same. I mean, you could say the same thing with Q5, but Q5 is actually like decently fast and still has somewhat of an attacking stat. Okay, I'm lying to myself. 55 is not attacking stat, but this thing is basically just here for webs, and maybe you want to soak a burn with water bubble or something like that. But no, this thing's pretty much only going to be here for webs. So let's jump into my team. We have Cutie Fly, Focus Sash, Sticky Webs. If we get the chance, you have stuff like Moonblast, U-Turn, and then I also have Thief on this set because low tier drafts are often more offensive, right? Because you take away all of the big Stallmons, and then that allows more offensive playstyles. So taking away items is really important, especially if I'm running webs. Taking away like boots off of something could be really good as well. So Thief is there if I ever feel the need to click it. But Moonblast, U-Turn, and then basically we're just gonna go for webs. And that kind of stuff. We're probably not going to lead with webs. We're probably going to lead Togi D, but we'll get there. Then we have Rampardos, Sheer Force Life Orb, and then just Stone Edge Fire Punch. Hits everything except for Whiscash. Right. The only things that resist Rock are Berserker, which is getting Fire Punched, and then Whiscash still resists, but then we have Trailblaze for that. Sheer Force, so I won't get the speed boost off of it, but it's still a pretty solid. It's a decent quad effective move, and if he's not Rindoberry, he's going to feel that really hard. And then sub, just in case I can get a setup, because if you get Rampardos behind a sub, this thing is insanely scary, because 165 attack stat. We do need quite a bit of speed for webs to work here, because I want webs Rampardos. Then we have Morgrem, who is here for the special attackers. And by the special attackers, I mean Kadabra, because this thing's going to fold to competitive Wigglytuff, because I'm Eviolite, not Roselli Berry. But it's here for like those emergency Thunder Waves or Parting Shots. If I Parting Shot into Wigglytuff, it could just be game over, because that thing's going to get the +3 special attack, and I have to switch out. But no, this thing's here for Kadabra, and then Reflect if I get into a pinch, and then some crippling statuses, Parting Shot and Thunder Wave. Where are we? Politoed. This thing is the main physical wall this time around. I thought about Muck, but I decided that Politoed was better because it gets Water Absorb for the Whiscash. It's a pretty weird set. Scald, Counter, Rest Talk. I wanted the longevity on this thing. We are Rocky Helmet for chip on stuff like Berserker. If the thing doesn't have Seed Bomb, we're in a good spot. If it does, yikes. But yeah, this thing's here to, take some hits. I probably would have mentioned this before, but Drizzle is banned. So it has to be Water Absorb or Damp, and Damp is stupid when you consider the fact that, Water Absorb exists. Fizzbulk to, eat some hits and deal with those kind of physical threats. Then we have Cryo, Boots Cryo, because he has the Glamora. But if you look at the amount of hazards he has, it's a little ridiculous. So we want a way to get rid of that. So we have Boots, Spin, Cryo. Ice Beam Freeze Dry is pretty standard. And then I opted for Knockoff instead of Recover, just because, getting rid of Boots for a Rampardos with webs is a very good idea. Also, his only removal is Defog Murkrow. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. And he has Mortal Spin, but we have the Togi D, which is our last mon, who is Shookaberry. In case, I think it was a Berserker EQ I was worried about, or yeah, I don't know. Maybe I cooked too hard. I don't know. I was worried about some kind of like mysterious EQ or mysterious ground move, and then we're just some basic stuff. Iron Barb, Psychic Shield for chip, U-turn, and then dual stab. I'm really trying to remember why I gave this thing Shookaberry. It probably was for Whiscash in a pinch. Or, oh no, sorry, it was Earth Power, Mudshot Glimmet. That's why it's Shuka. Because Ironhead should Oko, right? So if I need to switch in to block a spin block and he catches me with a Mudshot, I have the Shuka, and then Ironhead and Glimmet is slow as molasses. So Togepi should sell its speed. Plus, I'm going to be playing webs, and that thing will probably have its speed lowered unless he's running boots. But if he's running boots, this thing gets obliterated because it's not that bulky. So we're Shuka for Mudshot, Glimmet. That's why we're Shookaberry. Right, Ironhead should Oka that thing through Eviolite, and then, U-turn, Zing Zap, Psychic Shield. So that's the team that we have. We're going to jump into the battle shortly, and then we'll see how it goes. We'll catch you then.